Welcome back to Elite Rentals. I'm James Corwell. Today we're looking at top 5 Azimut yachts for charter. If you enjoy clear, practical advice on chartering the right yacht, make sure you're subscribed for more yacht charter insights. The link to Elite Rentals is in the description. Let's get straight into the list. At number 5 is Nami, an Azimut 86S. Built by Azimut Yachts, she's about 26.5 metres or 86 feet, and she's a well-known sporty open yacht that's popular across the Western Med. Typical weekly charter rates for Nami usually sit around $38,000 to $45,000 per week, plus expenses depending on the season and itinerary. That's a strong entry point for a fully crewed Azimut, especially if you want the energy of an open sport boat without compromising on comfort. Why Nami makes the list? The 86S range is all about clean lines, a bright salon with a retractable hardtop and fast island hopping. From my experience, first-time charterers who want to see a lot of coastline in a short time appreciate two things about this style. You can get underway quickly and the deck areas are easy to live in from day to night. The bow sun pads are excellent for quick swims on anchor, and the aft deck lends itself to simple, relaxed dining. Inside, you'll typically find 4 cabins sleeping up to 8 guests, which suits most small families or 2 couples plus kids. A detail worth noticing is the balance between daytime fun and evening comfort. While the 86S is a performance-oriented platform, the salon layout and glazing make her feel more spacious than you might expect on a 26-metre open. A small tip here: if you plan on spending long days underway, discuss your route with the captain around local sea states. The crew can time departures to keep rides smooth, and on sportier yachts, that planning makes a big difference. Nami tends to be a great pick for destinations like the Amalfi Coast, the French Riviera, or the Balearics, where distances are short and anchorages are plentiful. Toys are typically a compact, well-chosen set. Think a tender for runs ashore, a sea bob or two, and towables. You won't find the huge beach club you see on larger yachts, but you will get easy water access and quick turnaround for swims. Most first-time charterers don't realise how much the crew shapes the experience, even on smaller yachts. On an 86S, the difference between a good charter and a great one often comes down to how efficiently the crew runs the day, timing lunch with a swim stop, setting up the sun pads, and keeping transitions smooth. That's part of why Nami remains a reliable recommendation in this bracket. Next on the list, we step up in comfort and interior volume. At number 4 is Majestic Moments, an Azimut Grande 27 Metri. She's about 26.8 metres overall, and this is the model that shows why Azimut's modern Grande series is so popular. Typical weekly rates sit around $75,000 to $85,000 plus expenses in the Bahamas and Florida, with Mediterranean options appearing seasonally. The 27M layout stands out for a main deck master, large windows throughout, and a family-friendly 5-cabin arrangement that usually sleeps up to 10 guests. What sets Majestic Moments apart is how she blends contemporary interior design with practical charter utility. Achille Salvagni's interiors feel warm, bright and uncluttered, and the deck spaces flow nicely, shaded dining aft, a flybridge with lounge seating, and a sociable bow area. If you're thinking about mixed uses, some marina nights and some quiet bays, the 27M is versatile. A detail worth noticing is the draft. It's shallow enough for the exhumers in the Bahamas, which opens up those bright, shallow anchorages many guests want. From my experience, families appreciate a few simple advantages on this model. You can move between interior and exterior spaces easily, and the crew can serve meals without breaking up the day. Storage is well thought out, so toys like sea bobs, paddleboards and snorkel sets are quick to deploy. While you won't see a large jacuzzi on deck at this size, the comfort level at anchor is strong, and the social layout keeps everyone together during the day. A small tip here: if you're looking at a high season week, consider booking shoulder dates to protect your budget and improve availability. For the Bahamas, late spring and early summer are excellent, and you'll still find warm water and good visibility for snorkeling. If you're thinking about planning a charter, Elite Rentals can help you compare availability and design a route that fits your pace. The link is in the description. At number 3 is Vivere, an Azimut 116. Length is roughly 35.4 metres, and she's a proven charter yacht in the Bahamas and US East Coast. Typical weekly rates tend to be around $90,000 to $100,000 plus expenses, depending on season. The 116 offers a meaningful jump in deck space, inside volume, and overall presence compared to the sub 30-metre range. And in charter terms, that means better separation of spaces. The flybridge for sun and grilling, the aft deck for shaded dining, the foredeck for quiet time, and a larger main salon for evenings. Why Vivair earns her spot: the Azimut 116 platform hits a sweet spot for groups of 8 to 10 who want the comfort of a bigger boat without stepping up to the very top pricing brackets. The main salon is broad and bright, and there's typically an on-deck or forward master with additional guest cabins on the lower deck. The sun deck is where many guests spend most of their day, and the crew can set it for breakfast, loungers, or cocktail hour with minimal fuss. Underway, the 116 has the legs for longer day passages, which helps if you want to cover more ground on a 7-night itinerary. From my experience, a detail worth noticing on Vivair scale yachts is how the crew manages transitions between anchorages. The tender is usually larger, so shore runs are more comfortable, and the toy set, jet skis, sea bobs, paddleboards can be deployed quickly. A small tip: in the Bahamas and Florida, the rules for using PWCs, jet skis, vary, and age limits apply. The crew will walk you through the process, but plan to bring ID and allow time for a thorough safety briefing on day one. In terms of why you would choose a 116 over a 27mm, it often comes down to guest dynamics and pace. If you're a multi-generation group or you want more defined spaces for different activities, the 116 format gives you that separation without losing the easy indoor-outdoor feel Azimut is known for. Now, if you prefer a sportier profile with real speed for island hopping, the next yacht is a standout. At number 2 is Duke, an Azimut 103S. She's about 31.4 metres and commonly based in Greece for charters. Typical weekly rates fall around $95,000 to $110,000 plus expenses, depending on the season. The 103S is unmistakably sporty, with a large open deck and a salon that transitions nicely from day cruising to relaxed evening dining. Why Duke is on the list? The 103s combines style and performance, which is ideal for itineraries where you want to cover distance quickly. Think Ionian or Cyclades island hopping. She's fast, often cruising well above displacement speeds, and the open layout makes days on the water feel social and flexible. From my experience, the crew on these performance Azimuts are very good at making quick stops feel seamless. You can leave a marina after breakfast, swim in a quiet bay by mid-morning, enjoy lunch underway or on anchor, and touch 2 or 3 islands in a single day. A detail worth noticing is the deck plan. You get substantial sun pads forward for underway lounging, a shaded aft for meals, and a salon that stays bright thanks to the glazing. Guest capacity typically runs to 10 in 4 or 5 cabins, which suits 2 families travelling together. Toys are often a balanced set: sea bobs, paddleboards, and a fast tender, so you can pop into a taverna without losing momentum. One small tip for the Aegean: winds can pick up in peak summer. A captain who knows the local patterns can time passages to keep things comfortable, and Duke's speed gives you options when the breeze builds. If you're weighing a 103 versus something more conventional like the 116, think about privacy and pace. The 103S is fantastic if you love that open dayboat atmosphere with the ability to stretch your cruising range. If you prefer more defined indoor spaces and a larger sun deck, the 116 is the safer bet. Now, for those looking at the very top end of Azimut's charter lineup, let's move to the flagship. At number 1 is Tananai, an Azimut Grande Trideck. She measures about 38.2 metres and represents the high end of Azimut's planing yacht range. Typical weekly rates are around $230,000 to $260,000 plus expenses in peak Mediterranean season, which is roughly $250,000 to $285,000 depending on exchange rates. This places Tananai firmly in the ultra-luxury bracket, and she earns that position through a combination of contemporary design, smart deck architecture, and the brand's signature interior style by Achille Salvagni. Why Tananai tops the list? The Trideck introduces Azimut's Sea View Terrace concept, a raised aft deck area that creates a layered outdoor living arrangement while preserving a beach club atmosphere at water level. In practice, that means you have distinct zones for sun, shade, dining and lounging without crowding. It's a versatile setup for groups of 8 to 10 who want a premium experience but prefer a yacht that still feels nimble and modern rather than very formal. From my experience, a key benefit of the tri-deck is guest flow. You can host breakfast on the upper aft deck with wide views, spend the late morning in the beach club area with quick access to the water, and then shift to the bow or sun deck in the afternoon for a change of scene. Inside, Salvagni's interiors are calm and refined. Clean lines, soft pallets, and large windows. Accommodations typically run to 5 cabins for up to 10 or 11 guests, including a main deck master with excellent views. A detail worth noticing is how the crew uses those terraces. On a well-run tri-deck, service feels almost invisible because each deck can be set and reset without interrupting your time. That matters on a busy day when you might swim, have lunch, cruise for a few hours, and then host canapes at sunset. A small tip if you're looking at Tananai or similar yachts. Book 6 to 10 months in advance for prime July and August weeks, and consider late June or early September for better availability and calmer anchorages. Let me add a couple of practical notes that apply to any of these azimuts. First, pricing. All figures mentioned are typical weekly base rates plus expenses. On motor yachts, the APA, an advanced provisioning allowance, usually runs 30 to 35% of the base rate to cover fuel, food, drinks, and incidental costs, reconciled at the end of the charter. VAT may apply depending on the cruising area. Second, itineraries. On smaller azimuts like Nami, short hops with multiple bays per day work beautifully. On larger yachts like Vivere or Tananai, allow your captain longer legs so the crew can stage memorable lunches and water sports sessions. If you'd like help tailoring a route around your preferred pace and budget, Elite Rentals creates custom itineraries for every destination. The link is in the description. Finally, a quick way to choose between these 5. If you want pure open deck fun with a more approachable budget, look at Nami. If you want a modern family layout and shallow draft for the Bahamas, Majestic Moments is a strong pick. If you need bigger deck comfort and good range for a week of serious cruising, Vivera is the sweet spot. If sport and speed are your priority in the Med, Duke delivers. And if you want the top contemporary azimut experience with layered outdoor spaces and a premium finish, Tananai is the leader. From my experience, the best charters come from matching the yacht to your group's rhythm, how you like to spend mornings, how often you want to move, and which kind of anchorages you enjoy most. Share that with your broker early. It helps us recommend the right boat, the right crew profile, and a realistic route so you're not rushing. If you're thinking about planning a charter, Elite Rentals can help. The link is in the description. Thanks for watching. If you're ready to plan your charter, visit Elite Rentals using the link in the description. And don't forget to subscribe for more yacht insights.